Hello everyone, welcome to another episode on Viow Cooks. Today we're making chae Oh, which is roughly chicken noodle soup. At least that's what I like to call it. So first we're going to heat up a pot of boiling water with chopped onions and ginger and also drumsticks, but we're going to use these drumsticks that have less meat on them and more bone, more for that flavor. So try to get your butcher to cut off the meat if possible, and then we'll have this boil, and while that's happening we're going to create our meatballs. So minced chicken, tapioca starch, and salt as well, and also 3 teaspoons of chicken broth mix. This is going to feed a serving of I think 6 to 8. The blog post will have servings for 2 to 3, so follow that recipe. So you're just going to mix this all together, and then we're going to start forming our meatballs. Make sure your hands are damp with water so that the minced chicken doesn't stick onto your hands too much. And then we're going to, while our soup is still trying to heat up, we're just going to leave our meatballs on the side until it's time for us to dunk it into the soup. And once our soup is done boiling, we're going to drop the temperature to medium low, and then start throwing in our meatballs. You can form your meatballs and throw it into the soup at the same time as well if you're really skilled. I think I got a hang of it after a while, so I just started doing that. But you're going to slowly dunk in your meatballs. And while your meatballs are getting cooked, we're going to cook up some quail eggs and also let them cool in cold water so that we can start peeling them. Once all of these are peeled, we're just going to set this to the side and add it into our soup later. And if you have ugly ones that mess up, all you gotta do is eat it. You'll know that your meatballs are done cooking when they rise to the top. So now we're just going to add flavor to the soup. So you're going to want to add flavor after each tasting. But I normally start off with 3 teaspoons of salt, a tablespoon of sugar, and also 3 teaspoons of chicken broth mix. After you taste it and you think it needs a little bit more flavor, just add in 1 teaspoon of chicken broth mix and 1 teaspoon of salt each time. In Burma, they do like to have it a little bit more clear and not as flavorful, but I grew up with a lot of flavor, or as flavorful as chicken noodle soup can be, so I do add in more chicken broth and salt than they would back at home. And after all that is done, we're going to turn off the stove and we're going to start assembling. So here I have my wide cut noodles. You can also get any other kind of rice noodle as well. In Burma they use vermicelli as well, but I've just always eaten it with wide cut noodles, so I'm going to do that here. And I'm also going to add green mustard. I really like green mustard because it has a little bit of a like a spicy kick, kind of like wasabi, and I think it just adds texture and more flavor to everything. And then now you're just gonna scoop up the content inside the soup as well as the soup, so make sure you get the quail eggs, the meatballs, and some onion and ginger. And then this is optional, but I like to add a little bit of white pepper for more kick. Again, this is definitely optional. If you want a little bit more clear broth, don't put this in. But now it's time to enjoy. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel. Again, this recipe can be found on my website, so feel free to check it out there. If you want something more written down for you to follow by, let me know you guys make it. Make sure to tag me, and I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.